good evening, afternoon, whatever you call 7 o'clock, 7:13. So, I have reason to believe that some people are confused as to why their actions don't affect me on a long-term scale. I want you to know that eventually it will. But the reason is, this is now my baseline. Traumatized is my baseline. Like, when you do things like body language experts and stuff, everyone has a baseline of certain actions and behaviors that they do often. So, say someone always touches their hair. I always touch my hair. So you could never use that as an indication of deceit, because I always touch my hair. I have an obsession with my hair. That's my baseline. So when you're trying to traumatize me, my baseline is traumatized because it's been done so often that it's actually old. It slides off my mind like Teflon, But there will be long-term effects, and it'll come in my old age, because having this baseline also means that my wiring is different than someone who has not had a lot of traumatic events. Like, you'll literally have to kill me. And you can't do that. You tried. You can't. Right? So that is why, I'm sure there has been some confusion on why you do certain things and it seems to have little to no effect. It's because my baseline is trauma. Chronic trauma causes a different reaction to trauma. It doesn't have the long-term, long-lasting effects as someone who hasn't. But it's my belief that this is the type of stuff that causes Alzheimer's and dementia, and stuff like Celine Dion's issue, her neurological issue. Well, the body knows you've been traumatized, but you may not. I've said that before. Your mind may not, but your body may. Excuse me. And she was groomed by her husband. No offense. I know that she loved him very dearly, like deeply. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, if you've been groomed by someone, that changes your pathways. I know that sounds weird, but I don't I will not be surprised if in my future I am diagnosed with like one of those brain disorders, like Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever she has. I forgot what she has, but now that I understand how these things work, as soon as she said it, I was like, oh, that's because you were groomed by your husband, ma'am. Sorry. It's like still person syndrome or something like that. Stuck person, statue, something where she doesn't have control of her limbs and she can like faint and stuff. Yeah. There will be long-lasting effects, just not when you want it. In my old age, after having the entire term of my life affected by trauma. So, there's your answer. You won't be able to, like, take me very far off my baseline or, keep me in that state for a long time. Last year when that guy was messing with me, it did affect me a lot longer than usual. And it's because at the same time that girl was doing that stuff, not the girl I was hanging out with, the other girl that was lying about the needing a ride and shit. Like, it was like too much stuff at one time. So it, like the effects lasted longer. And I was also feeling bad because I cussed her out, and usually I wouldn't. But I was like, that's what you got to do. You got to, oh no. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Because, I mean, a lot of stuff gets stacked. Right now, I actually feel I'm not unbothered. I'm not. I want that to be known. I'm not unbothered. I have a lot that goes on in my mind on a daily basis that I have to like constantly cool down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell y'all some things that you might not know. I have only made okay. So last year I lived off of $1,038 the whole year. So I mean, like if we do the math on that, what is that per month? Like let's break it down per month. We know, and it wasn't per month, but so that's like an average of $86 a month, right? Starting in November, I started getting utility checks for $11 a month, and I only cashed one of them up until last month because I don't have an ID. So I went like 2 months without any income at all to use for like soap, random shit, toilet paper, whatever. Right. Okay. So then I called my mom and I traded her the checks for the cash. And that still was only like $34. So far this year, I've lived off $34. You know how I know there's other people that are in this level of poverty, and there's other people that are in this level of poverty and do not have a roof over their head. So I'm not complaining, but I also have a child. You know what I'm saying? It's very taxing mentally because I might see myself running out of something. I'm like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna finesse this? It's not a finesse. I'm not finessing anyone. I'm not stealing from anyone. I'm not taking from anyone. It's just like, you know, waiting for some type of I don't even know what I'm waiting on. I mean, there is something I'm waiting on. Unfortunately, I have to wait until circumstances are handled, because I mean it's the same thing I've been saying. Like, my rent goes up, my food stamps go down as soon as I get a job, but I'm $1,400 in debt for child support. In fact, I think it's $1,900 now. So I'm $1,900 behind in child support. And you know, rent goes up, food stamps go down. It is not in my best interest to add any expenses, whether that be travel expenses, childcare expenses. It is not in my best interest. I have to wait until Aaron goes to school. Period. Aaron goes to school, and he'll have free lunch and free breakfast. Okay, so that's 2 meals, and he would still have free lunch and breakfast at daycare, but I still have daycare fees. At school, there are no fees. He just goes and gets free lunch. You know what I'm saying? So that's 2 meals I don't have to worry about. Okay. I won't have to worry about his transportation because he can get on the bus. So there's no money going towards any of that. Like, I have to wait. I don't want to wait, but I have to wait until the situation is safe. I know there's all those, oh, you know, trust in God. That's my trust in God, that he'll like get me to that point. You have to be like smart with your moves and shit. And I'm telling y'all my moves, knowing that you'll probably try to sabotage it. Honestly, I think y'all are done with that, but it doesn't matter. The damage has already been done. So now I'm just sitting here waiting, but it's like mentally taxing because you don't want to sit in anxiety, but ultimately that's what you feel. I feel anxiety when I go to the store because, you know, there was a good amount of time in Aaron's life where we went to the store and he always got something. So he's gone now, like, a year and a half with getting no every time he goes in the store, that in itself is traumatizing. Like, every time he goes to the store, can I get this? No, sorry, I'll put it on your wish list. Then he's like, you know, the wish list don't work. Well, you're getting this. I was like, oh, this is what I need to get what I need. They don't have that understanding. So, you know, seeing the disappointment, he cried the other day. I mean, he like bawled the other day, and he hasn't done that in a while. He's gotten real good at it. But he got home and he's like, we're poor. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, we don't have any money. That's what poor means. That shit is emotionally taxing. That shit is traumatizing. It's always my fault somehow. You know, because there is no one else to blame. You know, a parent could be a scapegoat of a child. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my baseline is this. Like, the thoughts that go through my mind, the way that I cope, this is my baseline. Okay? So if you think you're going to do anything extra, it's got to be real extreme if you want to get some kind of lasting effect. Hey, go wipe your face. You have sour cream on your face. He's upset with me because he keeps posting shorts on YouTube. And I told him to stop and he didn't, so I had to take his phone. So, you know, I'm a bad guy again. Yeah, you have to do something real extreme, real drastic. And ain't none of y'all got the balls for that. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You do. You just can't do it. You can't accomplish it. Okay. Mission failed. It's a true mission impossible.